All right. So we have the resilient workers all get this week paid off, this week specifically.
Okay. Not this week, but a week.
Okay.
I don't think it matters what week it is. That was June 22nd. Is that this week? Anyway.
Oh, from July 5th to... No, wait. That's
a wellness week, which is a whole nother week outside of this one. They get another one.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Nathan's situation, my panic moment, this paid week off, the nutty heist, the never-ending Amazon deliveries, coffee is healthy.
Okay.
And the squid that went to space. That sound good?
Packages. Check this out. Jillian Cannon said she began receiving random packages of masked brackets at her home last month. She thought it was for her business. Turns out it wasn't for her, actually. It was under her address, but not her name. Amazon told her to keep the packages and place a ticket for the mistake. But you know what? More continued to show up. And now she has had more than 150 Amazon boxes show up at her doorstep. Cannon and her business partner decided to give back and turn some of them into mask kits for patients at a local children's hospital. Amazon also agreed to donate the supplies that she couldn't use.
Oh, they were mask kits? Is that what she said they were?
No, they were mask brackets. So like the little plastic things that you hook the straps of your mask on so it doesn't go behind your ears.
Oh, so it's not even like she was
like it sucked. Like this is like the worst. The worst. I feel so bad for this lady. Anyway, I'm not going to keep talking about it though because the show hasn't started yet.
Right. Okay. And then they're sending somebody to... Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I feel like I've been ready for hours.
Same. Where did my screen go? Oh, it's right there.
Your hair's pretty on point today.
Thanks. It's very curly.
But it's not like flat and curly or anything. Like it's good curls.
Yeah. I thought about putting on a hat because it's almost too curly for my liking. Whenever it just like sits there like an afro, you know?
It's a little too curly for your taste.
Yeah.
You have such great curls.
Yeah, I know. And it took me a long time to realize that. Oh, well.
Like girls jealous of the curls that you have.
Oops. Cool. All right. Let's go live.
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
We're already live, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we begin?
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. It's time. It's time. Did you just say it's time? Stay calm.
Mother trucker, dude. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
What's your profanity?
Oh my gosh. Welcome to episode 171 of the family-friendly Vent Lab podcast.
I don't even want to know what this is about. I am so nervous for you to tell this story.
Guys, I had an issue. What day did I text you? Was that Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. Happy Father's Day.
Wait, this happened on Father's Day?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, do we just get right into
Had
it?
a bit of an issue, huh?
Yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it.
Do you want to jump into your story? Or you want me to like just gradually work our way into this by me telling like my story first? Or do
you have a story?
Just like get it over with and tell yours.
By all means, you tell your story first.
I feel like we need to just acclimate people to the podcast first before you just jump in and tell a story like that. Honestly, Nathan, I don't even know what the story is, but I'm already cautiously approaching it by the text that you sent me on Sunday.
That's fair.
Okay.
So what's your story?
Well, it starts out kind of sad because I did have to go to a funeral today.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
Is everybody okay?
Well, I mean, it was a funeral. So
no?
Well, I mean, everybody's going to be okay. But yeah, I mean, we talked about.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked about last week that. No, actually, we talked about this on the Let's Be Honest. So not everybody who listens knows this, but somebody very dear to me passed away this last week. It was Nick the Brave. He would have been 15.
I'll just kill the.
Yeah,
no,
that's
I'll just
probably
go ahead and
best.
kill the happy music. Yep.
He would have been 15 tomorrow, and so it was really sad and like emotional just even thinking about going to the funeral. And yesterday, like this, okay, to make matters worse, yesterday I had like a complete like over socialization breakdown. And if you're not an introvert, you might not know what it means to be overly socialized. But for the last month, like as soon as the pandemic started lifting, I have been a social butterfly. Like,
yeah, you've been killing it.
like more like a social like bird.
Yeah.
Like something bigger than a butterfly. Oh, my husband's handing me tea.
Speaking of social butterflies,
give me a second
John
here.
Wesley Crockett has, his arm has entered the studio.
Hey, VidLab.
He just said, "Hey, VidLab, woohoo!"
3 minutes, 30 seconds left.
There's 3 minutes.
3
and 30
minutes and 30
seconds.
seconds left on that tea, so keep track of that.
All right.
I'll bring you some tea soon.
Thanks. I'll set a timer. 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yep. Well, 3 minutes and 10 seconds now.
I'll just do 3 minutes.
Yes.
How about that?
Okay, so anyway, I've been very social lately, meeting with a lot of people, hanging out, going out on friend dates. It's been like nonstop. It's been nonstop. And for me, usually like 1 or 2 socializing events a week would wear me out. But I've been like, I've got some energy because I've been saving it up during the pandemic. But I think I overexerted myself and just all out crashed yesterday. Like
What happened yesterday?
nothing bad happened yesterday except for that I just like woke up and was like, I'm exhausted. Like literally could not talk to people. And like any interaction with anybody annoyed me.
Yeah.
Like I just was absolutely done. And the thought of interacting with anybody like made me even more tired. Like I was like curling up in a ball with my eyes closed, like pretending I was asleep, just trying to reserve energy. Like I was in a desperate state of needing to gain energy by just isolating and taking some time by myself, but I still had to work. So it was really hard to like get time by myself. I definitely did not go into the studio. I kept my door shut all day yesterday. And then when I got off work, I went, like normally I go to the gym on Mondays. Was not happening. I went and curled up in a chair and went to sleep for like an hour. Somebody texted me like asking if they could call me. And I was like, I can't. Like,
Yeah, it's a hard pass from me, Bucko.
like I can't. And then like I heard my family or my son and my husband like coming in the door because they'd been outside in the driveway washing vehicles. And I heard them like start to come in and I was like, I can't talk to anybody. Like I panicked. I jumped up and ran and got a shower so I didn't have to talk to anybody. Like that is how desperate I was to reserve energy.
No, I get that.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you're like you're home alone and then you hear people get home and you're like, I'm not ready. I gotta find something to do. Shoot, it's time to take a shower. I gotta go. Yeah. No, I get that. You got to get across the house sometime. Well, I guess your room and your bathroom.
So yeah, I ran to my room, but then I was out of washcloths and the basket that had washcloths in them was in my husband's office. And so you just looked at me like, why are they in his office? That's just where they ended up and they haven't moved for the last week from there. Anyway, I had to take a risk because I had to run down the hall to grab the washcloth and risk they might be in the living room and try to interact with me.
Yeah, that's the worst.
But I made it back in time. Anyway, here's how this connects with the funeral. Oh, my tea's
You need to
done.
take your tea out.
Okay, where's the trash can so I can dump my...
Oh, it's under the desk. I got you. Keep telling your story.
Okay. So I'm feeling really exhausted. And then I start thinking about the fact that I'm going to a funeral the next morning. And this is a very emotional funeral. Like I said, it was Nick the Brave would have turned 15 tomorrow.
Oof.
A an amazing human being that just left this world way too soon. And so like I was like feeling like I was trying to prepare myself emotionally to go to the funeral, but I didn't have any energy to give. And so then that was like making me even more tired. So get up this morning and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better because I did escape from interacting with people yesterday. But the fact that I have to experience emotion, I'm preparing to be drained again.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to the funeral by myself, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I've never been to a funeral by myself before. And, oh, here's my husband again with more tea for Nathan.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Got it.
Cool shirt, Nathan.
Hey, thanks. You
What's up,
too.
William?
It's very great. Anyway, what were you saying, Rebecca? It was a
Okay.
very sad story.
It was a sad story.
She was
Jaywas
is
just
losing
laughing.
it in the door. Go away. We're doing a
Okay.
podcast. That man.
If you don't know, the studio is in my basement. And sometimes it's hard to get away from people.
Yeah, I can't imagine why you had that panic moment whenever you heard your family come home and you just wanted to be left alone.
Okay, so here's a moment I didn't want to be left alone is when I was going to the funeral. And so I don't know, it was just like it was emotionally draining and I didn't want anybody there to like talk to or anything. I just needed somebody like there because I knew I wasn't going to know anybody else there besides Nick's mom. And she's a little preoccupied.
Yeah.
And so I know that I have nobody to talk to. So I show up and I just like sit in the very back pew. Also, it's a Catholic service.
Oh, so it's long.
It's long and I'm not Catholic. So there's a lot of things that happen during the service that I'm not familiar with. Like you have to know like how to respond to a lot of phrases and things. And the incense, you know, the incense at like a Catholic, I don't know if this is in every service or just at funerals. Guys, I know nothing about like what happens at a Catholic church except for what happens at funerals.
You should have been texting Sam, 6-foot Sam, and been asking, okay, they're doing this. How do I respond?
Yeah, and then I'd respond a little bit too late
Yeah.
to everything.
Just keep him on the phone call the whole time so that he can hear as well.
Anyway, the incense, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're burning for the incense, but I don't like the smell of it. I just know I don't like the smell of that incense. It always makes me feel a little nauseated.
I wonder if you can request what incense is burned.
Specific incense.
Yeah.
I think there is a traditional incense that is burned during time of mourning
Yeah.
at a funeral. I'm not for sure though. I'm totally guessing at that, but it seems to always be the same smell. So I think it's the exact same thing. Anyway, so that was a very emotional funeral and I'm by myself. I did not ask Jay West to go along with me. He did not offer to go along with me, but he started talking about his busy day. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to ask him because it seems like he's got a lot going on. I bet if I would have asked him, he would have dropped everything and gone with me. But I was like, no, you're a strong, independent woman. You can go by yourself. You can do this. I wasn't so nervous about being by myself at the funeral. Here's what I was really nervous about. So I was going to lunch with the family and close friends afterwards.
Okay.
And we were going to, I think it was Johnny's Tavern in Lawrence. Great menu, by the way. Johnny's Tavern, shout out.
Yeah, they have gluten-free options.
They have lots of everything option. They had cauliflower wings.
Wow. I've always wanted to try those.
Yeah. I
Did you
don't
try them?
believe you. Have you really always
Yeah,
wanted to try them?
I have.
I did not try them because I think they might have been breaded,
Oh.
but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so I think your tea's done.
No, that was an email that I just
Oh,
received.
okay.
You still got 8 seconds.
Okay. So I go to Johnny's Tavern for this meal and I'm like panicking because I don't know anybody at this place besides, like I said, the mom. But now it's worse. It's not like I'm sitting in a pew in the back of the church. Like I have to go sit at a table with people. And like I said, I had the breakdown the day before. So I'm already feeling like I need to reserve energy. Like I don't have a lot of energy to give. And I'm kind of emotional. And this would be a really good time for me to have a friend with me or a husband with me where I can talk to that other person.
How about a friend and a husband?
Or both, yes. I didn't know what to do. So I went in, gave Nick's mom a hug, and I went to the bathroom and took a couple extra moments in the bathroom to like take a couple deep breaths. Like,
Took a hit from your jewel.
no, oh my gosh, no.
Just to calm your nerves.
Guys, in case you think he's telling the truth, he's not. That was a total lie. I have never, ever taken a hit from a jewel.
In front of anybody. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't even know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you. Anyway, continue. So you're in the bathroom hitting a jewel.
So I left the bathroom and I just like walked to the back of the room and leaned against the wall and like started scrolling through my phone trying to think about what to do.
Yeah.
And I almost just dipped. Like I was like, I already gave mom a hug. She saw that I was here in support. She doesn't need me here. I should just go. But then I saw this other lady sitting at a table by herself.
3 hours later.
Continue.
And I saw people asking her, can I take this chair? Do you need this chair? And so now she's like down to 2 chairs at her table. She was just letting people take chairs left and right. And so I thought, she doesn't have anybody to sit with.
Oh, man.
And I was like, all right, you're really going to risk it here socializing. But I'll just go ask her if there's an available seat. And if there is, I'll just sit there and play on my phone the whole time. We don't have to talk to each other.
That'd be the perfect scenario.
It would be. So I went and I sat down. And then I thought, a normal human being would introduce themselves. You should muster up the strength to introduce yourself. I'm literally giving myself a pep talk on how to be an adult, socializing with other adults. Like, how did this happen?
Well, you went through a lot of trauma as a kid, so it would make sense if you missed out on a lot of like things that you should have learned growing up.
No, I know
on
what
how
to
be an
do.
adult.
I think it's just that I'm an introvert, and
no,
I
it's
was
fine.
like,
It's fine
and
that
my energy
you're
bank
missing those
was
core elements of adult.
extremely low. So, what do you think I did, Nathan? Did I introduce myself, or did I just play on my phone until I found a good time to just leave? What did I do?
I think you tried to find a window in which to leave, and you got out of Dodge.
You are wrong, Nathan. I found a friend.
What?
I got a new follower on Twitter today.
Who?
Okay, so
In their right mind
I
would
reach out
befriend
my hand
you?
and I introduced myself and I'm like, hi, my name's Rebecca. And she was like, hi, my name's Jordan. And then she was like, how do you know Nick? And so I was telling her I work
I'm a famous radio
KM
personality.
I work at KMBZ and I got to do a story on Nick. And she was like, I work for 41 Action and I did a story on Nick.
Wow.
And I was like, are you a reporter? And she's like, yes, you're a reporter. And I was like, yes. Nathan, we had so much in common. Both of us wanted to be movie stars, but we knew that that wasn't realistic. And so we both went into the news industry instead.
What channel is
Like,
she from?
41 Action. Her name is Jordan. And on her social media, she goes by a different last name.
Jordan
Betts.
Betts.
Yes, yes. That is her. Jordan Betts. She's in her late 20s. She's super, super nice. She's also like really into meteorology and was talking about like storm chasing. She won an Emmy this last year for storm chasing.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we talked it up like for a solid 2 hours. Also,
Oh, okay. Here we go. That's three alsos.
we get in line to go get food because they ordered pizza for everybody. And so I went over thinking maybe there's salad because, you know, I can't eat pizza. I can't eat just regular pizza. So we're in line and I'm like, oh, shoot. All they have is a whole bunch of regular pizza, no salad. And I'm like, now here's the part where I feel like an idiot because I have to bail out of line because I can't eat pizza. And so I was like awkwardly like, oh, I was hoping they'd have salad, but I can't have pizza. So I turned around empty-handed
Oh, wow.
to walk back
Pathetic.
to the table. And she was like, I can't eat pizza either. So she walks back to the table with me. Like, this was a match made in heaven.
You do know she's a fan of Star Wars, right?
I'm friends with you too, so it's okay.
You just said you guys have a lot in common, and that's a pretty glaring.
We don't have everything in common, but we have a lot in common. So we go back to the table, and I'm thinking...
She loves tennis. You guys could play tennis together?
Yes, I'm not good at it, but I like playing it. Anyway, stop reading her profile.
I just happen to know Jordan Betts as well.
I think she's like 26, and I believe
That's fine.
She's single.
I almost am too. Hey!
So
a couple years difference never hurt anyone.
No, she's a real cute girl. She thought I was in my 20s too.
Okay, well, you made that part up. People don't make that misconception anymore.
Because she was asking about like how I got into radio, and I was saying, you know, I went back to school like later in life after my kids were older, and she's like, "Oh, how old's your kids?" And I was like 20 and 16, and she was like, "What? Are you kidding me? I thought you were like 26." She's like, "I thought we were the same age." Stop rolling your eyes. A girl has no reason to lie to another girl about that.
That you guys are so fake. Whatever.
Anyway, stop flipping through her pictures.
Well, I'm just trying to get to know her. Listen, you gotta sit down.
You're trying to get to know her.
There's no
I told
evidence.
You she's like super cute.
No evidences of a significant other.
I know there's no significant other.
I'm just doing research. Look, she did a story on Nick.
I know. That's how we like got to talk.
I know. I'm just saying. I wasn't expecting to see it so high up. Anyway, it's funny that I'm still signed into Grant's Twitter.
You're in Grant's Twitter. Look,
I can follow her on Grant's Twitter.
Her Twitter. Start commenting on her Twitter. Anyway, I was telling you something else that we have in common. No. When we sat down at the table and we both didn't have pizza, I would have just sat there and not eaten. Like, I would have been super hungry the whole time and not eaten. And she was like, "Let's just ask for a menu and order something." And I was like, okay. And so she got a menu, and we like looked at the menu together. Like, we shared the same menu, and she's like, "I'm going to get this salad." And I was like, "I'm going to get this salad." And like, we were cheering each other on, and then we got our salads. And like, I felt like she was there to just rescue me. She even like walked me through to the point to get something to eat, which I really, really needed. She's got hip surgery in a couple weeks too, by the way.
Oh man, I really wish you didn't finish that sentence.
You might want to send her like a get well or something like that.
Yeah. If you had stopped that sentence after the third word, I would have been fine.
She's getting hip
No, you said she's got hips
surgery.
But if you had stopped after the third word,
she does have hips, like I think most human beings in the world.
I don't know. A lot of guys don't have hips.
Oh, we all actually have.
No, a lot of guys
hips.
don't.
Okay. Anyway, she used to be a dancer, like from the age of 3, and so she's had some injuries from her years of dancing. She's so cute, right? Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
You're done clicking through her pictures.
Are you sure? Because
So she followed me on Twitter tonight, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's Jordan. She followed me." Anyway, we had so much in common. It ended up being really great. So I went from like this major panic moment to like, I met a new friend.
How jealous would you be if like I became best friends with her, and then I like neither me or Jordan had time to spend with you?
I would just hang out with Grant more than I already am right now.
Okay, I didn't know we were making stuff up.
Do you know that I already knew that you got an apartment? Oh, by the way, Nathan's moving into an apartment and we
What? Who's that? What?
Because Grant texted me all the deets yesterday.
Grant told you? Why did he text you all the deets?
Because he was excited.
He was.
We've been having conversations about this.
So he was just like, "Oh, hey, Rebecca. Oh my
I've been
gosh,
asking
you'll never
him
guess."
like, did you find out yet? And so he let me know when he found out because he's really good at communicating.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. He's a freaking show off. You guys can, whatever, go podcast into the sunset or whatever. I'll find a new co-host.
Okay.
Me and Jordan have plans anyways. So speaking of Grant and moving into an apartment, so Grant was very insistent that we have our own bathrooms in wherever we move to, which me personally couldn't really care less. Fine, let's share a bathroom, let's not share a bathroom.
I like having my own
indifferent.
bathroom.
I have had my own bathroom for longer than I haven't at this point in life. So, you know, whatever. But I also grew up with 5 other siblings, so I know what it's like to share bathrooms, and I've never been bothered one way or the other.
And I definitely like having my own bathroom.
But Sunday, as we teased in the very beginning of this podcast, I had an issue.
A little situation.
I came into a situation, and for this situation and the potential for other situations like this.
Hold on. Does there need to be a disclaimer for people listening? Is there an age limit?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to get, well, guys, I'm going to talk about my butt here in a second. So if you have little ones, first off, they're probably laughing because I said the word butt. It is very funny. Also, I'm going to talk about my butt. So if you have a problem with your kids hearing about that, there's your disclaimer. Okay.
Also,
so
if you have a problem listening to him talk about his butt, you can just tune out for a little bit.
I'm going to do my best to paint this picture for you, Rebecca.
Great. I'm so excited.
But as I was saying, this situation made me thankful that I had my own bathroom, and the potential for this situation to arise in the future or similar situations. I'm happy now that the apartment Grant and I are moving into will have 2 separate bathrooms.
Yeah.
Here's why. Okay. I was taking a shower Sunday afternoon, and thought I felt an ingrown hair.
You were really washing deep there, huh?
Do you not? Think about this.
I don't want to get into detail.
Rebecca, you wash your hands after wiping your butt. Imagine not washing your butt. I mean, imagine like...
Yeah, but there's layers between my hand and my butt. Anyway, so you thought you felt an ingrown hair.
So I was washing my crack.
Yeah.
And I thought I felt an ingrown hair. Now I didn't think I felt, I knew it was there because earlier in the day,
my pants story like way less embarrassing.
Earlier in the day, whenever I had pooped and I was wiping, I was like, oh shoot, kind of feels like there's an ingrown hair. That happens. All right, I'm a grown man. I got a little butthole. And sometimes hair doesn't know how to grow right. Well, anyway, so I feel this and I'm like, yikes, that does not feel good. And it hasn't felt good since I originally felt it, I think maybe even the day before. And so after I got out of the shower, I decided it would be mature of me to take a quick look and make sure it wasn't cancerous or anything like that. You feel a bulge, you know, and you're like, ooh, I don't really want to have...
How abnormal is this?
Right. I don't really want to like have butthole cancer and get, 2 years down the road and be like, wow, had I just... bless you. Had I just, inspected myself earlier. So anyway, I get my little handy mirror that I have. Everybody should
just
have
for situations like this.
Well, and for like trimming the underneath my...
For checking out your butthole and trimming under your chin.
Yeah, because that's really hard to see and trim at the same time. So anyway, so I have this mirror. So it's also kind of dark down there. So I had my phone flashlight.
As uncomfy as I do right now?
I had my mirror, and I got into a situation in which I could view it, and it didn't look like an ingrown hair. It seemed kind of squishy.
Okay.
Which ingrown hairs are usually like pretty hard.
Okay.
Right? So
I'm just gonna trust you
I
on
got
that
a
one.
Swiss Army knife because I thought, okay, here's the thing.
Oh my God.
I thought back, Rebecca, you told me about one of your...
You're balancing here with a mirror, a flashlight, looking at your butthole, and now you have a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and I should specify, this wasn't exactly my butthole. It was like the bridge between,
Okay.
I forget what it's called. It always sounds bad. Anyway, pretty close, all right? It's in what most people would describe as the nether regions. Regardless, okay, closer to the butt than... Anyway, so... So I grab my Swiss Army knife, and I'm thinking, okay, Rebecca was telling me a story about somebody she knew who had a situation like this, and they didn't address it at first. They just let it grow until it was like golf ball size, and they couldn't even sit down, and they had to have a doctor like
lance it,
squish all the
drain
just-
it.
yep.
They drained it.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so I thought, I'm not going to let it get to that far. I'm not a freaking clown. So I pull out my Swiss Army knife.
Did you sanitize it first?
Well, I squeezed it between my fingers and kind of,
Oh, that'll do it.
just got all the grime off
Yep,
of it.
I
and
bet
stuff.
that's how doctors sanitize their tools too.
Well, it doesn't matter because it wasn't sharp enough to actually penetrate.
Oh, so it was a dull Swiss Army.
Yes, it was.
Oh, this is getting worse.
And so, also at some point during this, one of my, I think it was my nephew, one of my nephews, one of the younger nephews, was knocking on the bathroom door like, Nathan, Nathan. And I was like,
I'm in the middle of something.
not right now. I'm not right now. Okay. So after he went upstairs, fortunately, I know where brand new, never used razor blades are in the basement. So I didn't even have to like go upstairs. So I put on my pants and I run out and I grab a brand new, never used before razor blade. And then I go back.
Can we check and see if we've got any texts coming in on the chat? I just want to
Oh, we do indeed.
make sure.
Can you say a little prayer for those suffering in the national soup crisis?
I don't know.
I feel like this is one of those like
I don't know.
Ligma jokes that I don't know about. Anyway, so I grabbed.
So you got a fresh razor. You're also Googling soup crisis.
Yes, I am. Soup crisis. Is this an actual thing? It might actually be. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
So I grab the knife, okay, the razor blade, go back, get everything into position, the mirror, the flashlight.
Is this
Myself?
sanitized? What I
It was
don't know
never
why.
used before,
I
so
don't
of
know why
course
I even asked that.
everything is
But you
inherently
slid it
sanitized.
between your dirty fingers just in case.
No, that was the Swiss Army knife. Also, they weren't dirty. I just got out of the shower, remember? Anyway, so I lanced it myself, and I'm good today. I was a little sore yesterday, admittedly.
Was there a lot of drainage?
There was enough drainage. Like, I had some toilet paper. No, I had like a... No, wait, it was
I'm okay not knowing the details.
like one...
I just
one,
want to know, like, there was a significant amount of fluid.
I only needed one paper towel. So...
Did you disinfect the wound afterwards? Any alcohol, peroxide?
I put some Neosporin on it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, throughout the day, it was a little sore. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The
You're
actual wound.
walking a little gingerly.
Yeah, sitting gingerly, walking gingerly. But really, it's okay. I'm fine today. So that's my story. You won't catch me with a golf ball size hemorrhoid abscess. Nope. Not going to happen.
When my worker from KMBZ posted his story on
Well,
Facebook,
I didn't even get that specific. All right.
he posted it right out there on the social medias. Like,
It's true.
it's all out there.
Yeah, he did.
He posted pictures not of the golf ball size abscess, but of him in the doctor's office.
Cheeks up.
Covered, but yes. Anyway, when he posted that story, I thought, I've never heard of that before. Not that that's a story that everybody goes around sharing. Apparently only 2 people in this world share those stories. One I'm sitting next to. Anyway, I was thinking that
I took some pictures. Do you want to see some pictures?
No, I do not. I was just thinking that it doesn't happen very often. And then when you texted me on Sunday and you were like, hey, I have a butthole story to share. And I was like, is it personal? And you were like, yep.
I'm the biggest butthole I know, so yeah.
And I was like, oh, great. So how many listeners are we going to lose after the butthole story?
When was the last time we even had a butthole story? Come on, if they leave over one butthole story, do we even want them?
This is the first
Listen, if you can't handle a butthole story,
butthole story.
Besides, like I said, it wasn't even the butthole; it was just the butt region, the butthole region.
You know what? You were the third person I've heard. There was a female that shared with me in extreme confidence. She definitely was not posting this on social media or on a podcast, but she experienced a similar situation and had to go see a doctor about it. And hers was way bigger than a golf ball.
Ugh. How do people let them get that big? I mean, like, legitimately, mine was big enough to be an ingrown hair.
I think
I only knew it wasn't an ingrown hair because I touched it. And I could see it with the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew it was squishy because whenever I tried to lance it with the dull knife and it just kind of squished, and I was like, that's kind of weird that it just squished like that.
Mm-hmm.
An ingrown hair wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made sure to like squeeze it and everything after to make sure it wasn't an ingrown hair, you know? It wasn't. It was just a weird little, I don't know. I probably have cancer or something.
3 hours later.
Yeah, that was the wrong pot. It's this one right here. Yeah, try it again.
3 hours later.
I'm sorry my 5-minute story is boring you after you tell a 20-minute story.
It's not boring me. I'm sorry I went on so long with that story, but I think everybody needed the time to like work into the podcast before, because that was a pretty big ramp up
Yeah?
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like our ears need to be sanitized now afterwards.
All right, we could start like reading, like talking about like actual stories that you prepared. You want to do that?
Yeah. Like what would be really, really good after experiencing like the story that we all just experienced is some time off.
Yeah, like a vacation.
Like maybe like an entire week off. Not like even going on vacation, just taking like a week. Just a week for whatever. Because sometimes vacations can be exhausting.
If you're an adult, if you're a kid, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a place in the UK that is offering an entire week off. It's for Bumble and something.
Do you know what Bumble is?
This is a dating website, and it's a dating website where like the girls make the first move.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently they've been real busy during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And even more so now in 2021. And they were sensing, and through some statistical data, learned that many of their employees were experiencing burnout.
I could understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a really busy year. It's bound to happen, you know?
I really feel like every single company, every single person who has worked the last year, even people who haven't worked, I mean, well, they're going through something different, but everybody who has worked this last year has to be feeling burnout because people were given above and beyond their normal this last year.
Yeah.
It's been real stressful, and I think a lot of people are feeling burnout.
Also, this is paid this week.
Oh, yeah. It's not just like you're going to get furloughed for a week. Surprise, you thought the pandemic was over? No, we're furloughing you.
No,
that's not happening. This is a week paid, just time off to just regather yourself and come back. Like, I think that this is a huge benefit. I know it cost a lot, but I think it'll save money in the long run.
Yeah.
Because your people are going to stick with you. They're going to be happier. They're going to take less sick days because they feel like they've had time to recover. Unlike other companies that are still like just pushing their employees, I think everybody's either thinking of quitting and finding someplace else to go, or they're just taking random days off whenever they can get them. And their employees are really grouchy and their production is really low because they're just burnt out.
Yeah, you know, this seems like such an American thing because I feel like
But this is a UK thing.
No, I mean, it's an American social media company.
But this was in the UK.
This is worldwide. This is Bumble's worldwide staff is getting paid fully.
Okay, you're right, and I'm wrong.
Aha, suck it. I didn't even read the whole thing. Anyway, like if this was in a different country, I feel like it wouldn't be news. It would just be like normal.
Hey, we care about our workers and we give them time off.
Yeah, because there are different governments and stuff like that across the world that will do like a 4-week or a 4-day work week instead of a 5-day work week, and they say
that idea.
They see improvement there. That's what Amazon does. Amazon does that.
Talking with the Missouri Teachers Association or something like that the other day, talking about like the teacher shortages and how they're like getting teachers on their staff, and they were saying, you know, they have a really tight budget that they can't do a lot with, but they can offer other incentives. And they said in the smaller school districts, they are actually, a lot of them are offering 4-day work weeks because it works very nicely. And so some of the teachers find that really appealing. So they're like, well, I may not make as much, maybe 10,000 less a year. But if I only work 4 days a week,
yeah, it's kind of worth
like
it
that.
in the long run.
And we all know how we feel when we get a 3-day vacation.
It's true.
Or a 3-day weekend. Like you just feel so much more ready to go back.
Yeah, because you actually have a day in there to rest, I feel like, with the 3-day weekend, whereas with a 2-day weekend, it's like you have 2 days to get caught up on everything that you can't do over the week.
Yep.
And then you're back into it.
And then, right back into it. Okay, well, this company is going above and beyond even more because not only are they offering the week off paid, but coming up here pretty soon, I believe in July, they're also offering another week of like wellness time.
Yeah, where did I see that? Oh, July 5th through the 12th is a wellness week, which is interesting. Wait, no, that's for a Hootsuite. That's not. That's,
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's for a Hootsuite, which is.
Oh, another company is offering the wellness week. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, this should just be a common thing, right?
Okay, so I'm going to pitch this idea for KMBZ.
Okay.
Like, hey, we need to talk about this. I'm going to try and get this generated in Kansas City.
You know what's wild?
Huh.
Is that this should already be a thing in radio. Maybe not for news because that's kind of something that changes on the day to day, but every other radio station can just pre-record an entire, you could pre-record a whole month's worth of stuff if you're willing to put forth the effort. So why don't we have wellness weeks in radio? And by the way, like YouTube people and like people who do like social media and stuff for a living, they do it all the time. They're like, hey guys, either they'll take the day off, like, yeah, I'm just not really feeling well today, gonna take a wellness day, or they'll just be like, yeah, I'm going on vacation. See you guys later.
The other thing that this teachers association talked about is how they're blending like sick days and personal days together. So like for my job, I get, so many sick days, but I only get 2 personal days a year. And so the only time I can take time off is if I'm actually sick.
That's wild.
And the really sad part is like, if I start to feel like I'm getting sick, I get excited about the possibility that I could have a day off, but I'm never sick enough that I can't keep working. Like I'm going to have to like totally lose my voice or like be constantly vomiting or something to be able to take a day off because I can work from home. So I'll push through about anything.
Well, and that's you specifically. And
yeah,
I mean, you have coworkers that will take a sick day if they stub their toe wrong. So, I mean,
that's true.
It's because you have this moral compass. And if it weren't for that darned moral compass, you'd get a lot more days off. Just saying.
I mean, companies do offer paid vacations and things like that. So are we being greedy by asking for like a wellness week?
No, I think you're being realistic. I think companies are being greedy for not already offering it.
I see. Okay. So normally like I'm happy with, I have 2 weeks vacation. I feel like that's pretty good. 2 weeks vacation. I've been saving up a lot of sick days, so I actually have 30 sick days or something like that. But that I don't know if I'll ever use. But this year, after the pandemic, and in the news industry, like I know we're all feeling the burnout from just the news cycle has been pretty intense. I just think it would be really beneficial. Even if we take turns, if it's like 2 people a week or something, and we just start working through it, I just think it would be really beneficial and you would retain a lot of your employees that way.
So this wellness week, I mean, thinking about it, it's basically just an extra week of vacation.
Basically, yeah.
Unless, what if there was like a wellness week where you just had like a reduced workload?
See,
where it was like you can't actually go on vacation, but you do get to
I think that just sucks.
Is that no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because somebody else is going to have to pick up the slack somewhere.
That's true.
It's definitely getting put on somebody else.
Well, whenever we are our own bosses, Rebecca, you can take however many wellness weeks you want. All right? I'm just going to say that up front.
For somebody like me, I'm going to have to be told this is your wellness week and you need to take it, because if they're like, hey, just choose a wellness week, I'm going to have a really hard time choosing when to take that because...
I'll just lock you out of the building.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just
That'll
going to
work.
lock you out of the building and let you figure it out.
Okay, well, we have a story now about a guy who has gone a little too above and beyond at his work. So much so he decided to try to sell the products from his place of employment.
Is that extortion? Is that what that word means? What is that word when you try to like sell stuff that...
I don't know, but you know when you get a chip bag and it says like not for resale?
Oh, yeah.
This guy didn't read that warning, or he did, and he just didn't care because he was stealing pistachios.
What a lame thing
And
to
like,
steal.
not just a couple bags of pistachios, 42,000 pounds of
42,000
pistachios.
pounds. That's almost 1,000. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Pounds. Okay, I was thinking 42,000 pistachios. I was like, that's not actually, that's like 1,000 servings. That's not that bad.
So it was stolen from a California farm this last month. So the Touchstone Pistachio Company, during a recent routine audit, so someone's searching around. They're like, oh, let's see, we got this many bags over here.
Does it seem like we're missing like 42
bags over here. Wow, it seems
42,000 bags?
I mean, we've got
Maybe I just miscounted. I'll
we've
count
got
again.
a lot of bags here, but we're missing about half, it appears. 42,000 pounds to be exact.
That's a lot of pistachios. And
It is.
he planned on selling them?
Yeah. So what they discovered is this man ended up repackaging these pistachios because they were in like big bags, kind of like, you know, the peanuts at Five Guys.
Yeah.
And so he repackaged them into individual bags for resale, which is exactly what those bags say not to do.
Oh, come on.
So Alberto Montemayor, Montemayor. So Alberto,
come on. You know better. It says on the package, they specifically requested you not do that thing.
he's like, I'm tired of getting paid for bagging pounds of pistachios and just letting them sit here in the warehouse. I'm going to put these pistachios to good use and I'm going to repackage them and I'm going to sell them and nobody's going to notice.
He's thinking, what's the worst thing going to happen? What is there? Like pistachio police? Are they going to stop me? There's no such thing as pistachio police.
I wonder if, you know, it's like one of those like warehouses where there's just like tons. If he's like, yeah, I'll just take a few bags here and a few bags there and nobody's really going to notice. And who's going to notice like all these pistachios are gone?
No, this police report says he stole a whole trailer. So a little bit more noticeable.
He just like backed up the trailer and was like, load them up, boys.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna take this trailer. I'm just gonna take it around the corner.
No, I bet
not a
he's
big
like,
deal.
hey guys, this load is bad. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these pistachios.
Yeah, no, boss said these go directly into the trash. So I'm gonna take it myself. I just want to make sure that nobody steals them, because you know how people get whenever you throw out food. They always want to.
You don't want anybody
steal
getting a
them.
hold of bad pistachios.
So I'm gonna take it upon myself. This is a burden, but it's fine.
Nathan,
I'll take care of it.
what's your thought on pistachios?
Never
Do
had
you
'em.
like them?
Never had 'em.
Okay.
They
never
don't
mind.
look good. They don't look like something I would eat.
So I was at work. This was many years ago before I worked at KMBZ, and somebody was eating pistachios, and
A serving of pistachios has 6 grams of protein in it. Maybe I should start eating pistachios.
I hear they're really healthy for you. Unless you steal them, then you'll end up in prison. That's not healthy. But somebody offered me pistachios, and I was like, this seems like something I would like. I will try these. And then I felt very sick after I ate them.
Are you allergic to them?
I don't know. I wasn't sure, like, did I get a bad bag of pistachios?
What bothers me, the same thing bothers me about pistachios that bothers me about sunflower seeds, is that you can't just eat the whole thing. Like, the nice thing about nuts and fruit and stuff like that, for the most part, fruit was a bad example because it has skin most of the time. But for the most part, like nuts, they don't have any trash. But with pistachios and sunflower seeds, you have the shell. Like, I don't want to have to carry around a cup or something or keep my window down.
You can get like pre-shelled, unshelled. You can get pistachios without the shell.
Yeah, but I imagine they're not as good.
It's going to cost you a little bit more.
I imagine they're not as good.
Because they have to have somebody in there cracking the shells for you.
Can you imagine that being your job, just a pistachio cracker?
That's monkey nuts right there.
All right, so moving on, we have a story about, you know what, let's do this story since we're running kind of out of time.
You're skipping the Amazon story?
No, I'm not skipping anything. What are you talking about?
That story stresses me out. I think we should go back to it.
Okay, fine. There was a lady who had 150 or more packages, Amazon packages, delivered to her home by mistake. And even after like addressing the issue, they kept coming, and they weren't even fun packages. They were just the little bands that nerds wear on their mask.
That's not true. So this lady owns a business, and she was building a studio in her house.
Who does that?
So you're missing a detail here that I think you would like to know. So they're building a studio, and so they're getting like lots of equipment and stuff shipped to the house. And so this lady sees like there's all these boxes here, and she's like, well, it's got to be the equipment that's been on back order. You can relate to that.
Yeah.
And her coworker was like, nope, that's not for us. And so she opens these boxes up because they're addressed to her house or her address, but not her name. They're those like little plastic bands that go in the back of your head, and the straps of your mask, you can hook them on that instead of your ears so your ears don't get sore.
Yeah, all you losers with sensitive ears.
At the beginning, like medical professionals, think about how often they have to wear these. Anyway, I feel if this would have happened at the beginning of the pandemic, then it would have been like, whoo, bonus, we could use these.
Yeah, sell them for twice the price.
No, but now she's getting all of these. Amazon doesn't know why they're coming to her. She tried to deny the packages. They wouldn't even let her deny them. So she's like, got all these boxes of these plastic things she can't use. And then one day she's gone, and her neighbor calls us, and she's like, hey, it's happened again. You have so many packages in front of your door, I can't even see your door anymore.
Yeah, it looks like they were delivering them like on pallets.
Yeah.
So I got a lot.
So the story that I just talked about in front of the door, that was right before this. And then they started showing up on pallets in her driveway.
Jeez.
Like, this is a real problem. I would be extremely irritated.
Is this still going on, or did they get it figured out?
Well, they did eventually get it figured out of who they were supposed to be going to. But she ended up she was a real trooper through this, because she ended up making kits for like the Children's Hospital for these to be put into use. And like she forked out the money for the rest of the kit to like be able to hand these out and to lots of hospitals. And other companies have jumped on board to help. But my question is like, do people really need these?
People don't really need these now. Well, except for medical professionals, like you said.
Yeah.
But no, this isn't like a necessity. Unless you got like dry skin behind your ears or something like that. I'm sorry if I offended anybody who has dry skin behind your ears. Freaking nerd.
It's a real stressful situation, though. Like, I don't like this at all.
No.
I just think that's a lose-lose right there. It wasn't even something good. Like, if it was like your favorite kind of chips that just kept coming, which I've told you about my favorite chips, right? The Maui Sweet Onion.
Totally. Yeah, you can get those off Amazon.
Yeah, so I did, because I cannot find them in any stores. But like First City Cheese Market in downtown Leavenworth has them and has gotten me addicted to them. They're like crack.
Did you try those in Hawaii?
They gave them to me for free once, and now they make me pay for them every time. And like every time I have one bag, I want 2 bags instead of 1 bag. Anyway.
Did you know you liked those whenever you went to Hawaii?
No, I did not have them in Hawaii.
Interesting.
I got them when I came back from Hawaii because it reminded me of Hawaii. And now I paid $30 to get 20 something off of Amazon and they come on Friday.
You know, I can't even blame you because I spend like 25 something just to get like dried mangoes. So.
Oh, those mangoes are so good. You got me addicted to those too.
No, I talked to a guy at Amazon one time, just randomly. I don't even know why we were having this conversation, but he was like, yeah, me and my wife went to Hawaii one time and then she tried those Maui sweet onion chips and she really liked them, but you can only get them in Hawaii, but you can get them off Amazon. So now she's very happy that you can get those off Amazon. And I was like, cool. That's really
I'll let you have a bag
great.
on Friday. I'll share one with you, but you can't have more than that, just the one.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so drinking coffee could lower your risk of liver problems, according to a new study. I hate these kinds of quote-unquote studies, and here's why.
Okay.
There has been 532 different studies on how drinking coffee can lower or raise your risk of one thing or another. There's a study that comes out that says, oh, this could lower your risk of heart failure. And then there's one that's like, actually, it can increase your risk of heart failure. And I can't help but think every single time one of these studies comes out, maybe, just maybe, it's not the coffee.
Okay. So I read through this whole thing here because, my throat just did that weird thing. Did you hear it?
Nope.
Okay. Anyway, I read through the study here because my husband recently found out that he has extremely high blood pressure and he has to go back for a blood test here this next week to find out what they need to do next. But one thing the doctor asked him was how much coffee he's drinking. And he had to confess he's drinking a lot of coffee. And so he said, well, you might want to back down on your caffeine intake. But he didn't say anything about it being like dangerous in other ways towards his health, but just like, that's a lot of caffeine. But I was reading on this study and it go back to that article.
So sorry.
I can see it.
I was looking at myself in the camera.
It goes through an entire list of all the benefits to drinking coffee after keep going, scrolling down. After all of the tests that they've done, keep going.
Liver cancer.
Okay. Yeah, the whole liver.
This is a long
it's
study.
Apparently very, very healthy for your liver, but it's healthy for a lot of other things too. And the study concluded that there is no downside to drinking coffee.
Even people who drank up to 6 cups of coffee per day, Jay West, were at no. Oh gosh.
I told him about this study and I was like, they say even people who drink up to 6. And I was like, what about people who drink 12?
Yeah. If you drink enough of anything, it will cause some sort of health effect, good or bad.
Here's the official quote from, I believe this was a Harvard health professional study. Okay, we did not find any relationship between coffee consumption and increased risk of death for any cause, death from cancer or death from cardiovascular disease. Even people who drink up to 6 cups of coffee per day were at no higher risk of death.
Sounds like the people at Harvard are also getting tired of all these so-called studies on whether
it's good,
coffee.
Bad, it's good, it's bad. Anyway, coffee has a lot of antioxidants in it, so it is really good for you. But watch your caffeine intake, I guess.
I guess, but at the same time, who really cares?
In moderation. Anything in moderation, right?
Yeah, that's biblical, I think.
Not anything in moderation.
It could be anything. Well, bad, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not everything, but if it's a good thing, it's only good in moderation. Huh? Maybe, except for reading your Bible. Actually, no, that could be bad too if you're ignoring your family.
If you stop taking care of your family because all you want to do is read your Bible.
Yeah. What is not good in moderation? What is good all the time? Oh God. Okay. Second. What is good all the time and all the time is good. Okay. What else? Air? Could you breathe too much air?
No, murder in moderation would still be bad.
Okay. Yes. I'm talking about what without moderation could never. What is good that even without moderation will still be good? Vitamin C, because you'll just pee out the rest.
Okay, that's true. So you can't overdose on vitamin C. Water.
You can die of water poisoning.
I guess there's a thing called drowning.
Also
isn't there?
that, yeah, and waterboarding. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Nathan!
Oh
I
my
forgot
gosh,
to tell
Rebecca.
you, I went tubing this weekend.
You went waterboarding in Guantanamo Bay?
So I went tubing on the lake, Lynn Valley Lake, out like in Johnson County, past
Yeah,
Johnson
shout
County
out to
or
Lynn
something
Valley
like that.
Lake.
Beautiful
Yes.
lake. Hardly anybody was on there this weekend. My family and some friends were, and my legs were so sore from standing on that tube for so long, and also because the driver of the boat was like spinning in circles, and there was, what's that called, the pull of gravity, the inertia, or when like they're spinning in circles and you're getting like pulled one direction and it's going the other direction.
G-force?
Sure, the G-force. We're pulling so many G's making those circles.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Like trying to hang on. I used a lot of muscles that I don't normally use. I needed assistance of a railing to get up the stairs.
It was just a matter of time, Rebecca, honestly.
There was one point where we all flew off and toppled onto each other. Like I was underwater and then got hit 3 other times by other people when I was underwater, and then I took in a lot of water, which is what made me think of the whole drowning thing. I came up from the lake and did the man belch.
Yeah.
Because I took in so much water because I got hit in the back really hard and it felt like it knocked the wind out of me, so I automatically went to go take a breath of air and sucked in a lot of lake water. Anyway, it was still a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to do it again this summer.
Yeah. Boating is fun. We used to do that all the time as a kid. Bless you.
That's that lake water.
Oh, yeah, it's still in there. Still coming up. All that fish pee is really doing something on your...
You know what? My hair and skin was so soft after the lake.
Can you really call yourself a vegetarian if you're drinking fish pee?
I didn't eat the meat.
That's fair. All right, touche. I guess you're not a vegan, so...
Yeah.
You think vegans, cry if they accidentally drink lake water?
I mean, depends on why they're a vegan.
Fair enough. Your skin's feeling good, though?
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it was like, even my son mentioned it. He's like, my hair is just really soft.
Oh, that is not at all my experience with lake water.
Really?
No, my hair is always, stringy and gross.
I don't know what it was, but I mean, all of us had real soft skin and soft hair. We showered, so we ended up washing it out. But immediately after almost drowning ourselves, we really experienced the softness of the water on our hair and skin.
Huh. Cool story, bro.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for your support to all of our patrons. We will have a live stream this Friday at 8 p.m. On Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
What we're doing this Friday.
Yeah, we do. Though now I'm considering, we've had this idea of putting coffee in things. And now I'm like, well, we just did that coffee story. Maybe we should link it up with...
I don't like coffee.
I know.
I also don't like onions, and we're doing something with onions this week.
Yeah, you don't like onions at all?
I don't like just taking a bite out of an onion.
Touche. Anyway, we will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Drink lots of water. Stay hydrated.
Not too much water, though. You don't want to drown.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Except for God. You can always have more of God. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thank you so much. All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Wait.
What? Oh, yeah. My name's Nathan.
I'm Rebecca. We out.
Sorry, it's my first day on the job.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hey, Richard, how you feeling?
Oh, we're still live. I was like,
Yeah, we're still live.
I was expecting the phone. I was like, did he already call in?
Oh, and-
what's going on?
And Webb is here. Webb.
Hi, Webb.
Webb. Sorry, guys, I didn't have the chat up. I apologize. And I'm also wearing a pink shirt, which makes it really hard. We'll just move this over here. You.
Webb, did you miss Nathan's butthole story? You might want to avoid just going back. And
Yeah,
listening
about
to it.
15 minutes in. You have to wait for Rebecca to finish her obituary of a story.
Excuse me. It was a very good story with an unexpected ending.
It was definitely an unexpected ending. I
You
think
guessed wrong.
the most unexpected part about the ending was the fact that it actually ended.
Okay.
Because I was really questioning whether or not.
I think it just went on and on because you were so busy looking at pictures of her on Twitter after I talked about her that you just let me keep talking. And I had to find something to do while you were looking at pictures.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right, we'll see you guys later. We got to do the let's